All right, everybody, we should be live. Now, listen, this is Tittle Tattle, which I normally do with Bill Doris, and hopefully he's going to show up. If you are not a supporter on Locals, Rockfin, or Patreon, you're only going to get a short part of this. So it's going to end around like 5 to 7 minutes and continue on for supporters only. So please consider signing up for Locals, which is a great place to support my work. If you go over to AllisonMorrow.locals.com, you can see we got the live stream going right here with the live chat. And the supporters over on Locals, you're going to get the entire live stream. If you're watching this on Locals, it's saying it's checking to make sure my connection is secure, meaning basically is the FBI following me? Yes, they are. Okay, they're going to let me in. Anyway, if you're a supporter over on Locals, you're going to get the entire thing. And if you're on Locals and you're not a supporter, it's going to cut off very dramatically at, I think, 5 minutes and 30 seconds. So please consider supporting the work. You guys are the only way that this continues, honestly. And I think one of the big picture takeaways that I have to discuss with this lawsuit that Elon Musk has filed against Media Matters, Rumble has also said they're going to go thermonuclear on Media Matters. Truth Social has filed a lawsuit against, I think, 20 media companies. So the alternative media sphere is fighting back against the corporate press or sort of the mainstream press, whatever you want to call them. But part of this is because, if not a large part, is they're fighting back because the attacks from the Media Matters and other groups, calling them, cesspools of white nationalism or whatever else, is costing them advertisers. And that's hurting their bottom line. I don't want to have to worry about that. So please consider being direct to consumer, to farm to table model, I guess, if you will, because I don't plan to. I guess I would just like stop the whole thing if I felt like, I was worried about advertisers pulling. It's just not the way I play ball here. So the podcast would just go away. I wouldn't say, oh, my wine sponsor told me I can't talk to this person, so I'll not talk to him because I really have to keep my wine sponsor. I wouldn't submit to that. So I'm just a plea to you guys who are watching. Consider that because at the bottom of these responses from these companies, I think not just saying that it's all money. I do think that there is a commitment. I mean, I'm going to just give them benefit of the doubt that they have a commitment to wanting to protect a certain amount of speech. I'm not saying they will protect all of it. They all have their community guidelines, but a large part of it is because of the way that they look. Elon Musk has said it's to hurt them, their bottom line. Advertisers pulled out. So let's just learn from that being an advertiser based operation is not the safest way to go when you're talking about the truth. Okay. All right. So let's get right down to the nitty gritty, because this is going to end for people who are not supporters again around, 5-ish minutes. So I want to make sure that we get to this. Elon Musk and Twitter X. Okay. They have a whole section about Elon Musk and Twitter X on Media Matters. I mean, to say that they are like a dog with a bone on this guy is an understatement. They love to hate Elon Musk. Media Matters, it looks like it's their goal to get this guy down the toilet. And I believe this article right here is the one in question where they wrote X is placing ads for Amazon, NBA Mexico, NBC Universal, and others next to content with white nationalist hashtags. IBM recently announced that it suspended advertising on X. Will others follow? Basically hoping that others will follow because that's the whole point of what Media Matters does. Elon Musk then responds by saying the split-second court opens on Monday. X-Corp will be filing a thermonuclear lawsuit against Media Matters and all those who colluded in this fraudulent attack on our company. After that, Ken Paxton announces investigation of Media Group following Elon Musk's lawsuit. Okay, so the Texas Attorney General's office now saying they're going to investigate. Chris Pavlovsky with Rumble says, I can confirm Media Matters has purposely misrepresented Rumble. And so he's asking other people in government. He's got Speaker Johnson, Jim Jordan. He's bringing the receipts, he says, and he's saying they're manipulating data, basically making these companies look worse than they are. And now Truth Social is suing 20 media outlets. And this has been filed in Sarasota County, Florida. And they say they're accusing 20 news outlets of a deliberate, malicious, and coordinated attack against Truth Social. Again, it's always the same line, basically, that that they're making them look like, it's hate speech. It's typically all has to do with hate speech, okay, which is ridiculous. Before I give you my opinion about this, I want to real fast say that, we're talking about sponsors. So far, my sponsors have not told me who I can talk to and who I can't talk to, so I'm just going to give them. Oh, and I wasn't even sharing my screen here. I should have been sharing my screen. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'll show you all the stuff I was just looking at in a second. Don't forget AllisonWinePromo.com, AllisonWinePromo.com, where you get 50% off my favorite Malbecs and 50% off shipping. These are all extremist altitude Malbecs from very remote regions of Argentina. They make a great present. The holidays are coming up. We've got Thanksgiving this week. You know what? You're probably not going to get your order in time for Thanksgiving. So drink a terrible wine and order this for Christmas. And then just say you're really sorry when you show up for Thanksgiving with terrible wine. Say you'll have something better for Christmas. Great Christmas present. You actually get multiple bottles when you sign up. And so you can parse it out for 3 different people and tell them that this is a present with a cause. It keeps people like me in business, and it also supports companies who don't tell people like me what to say or think. Okay, so it's a great option. If you like wine, you give wine as a gift. Consider going to AllisonWinePromo.com and doing this for somebody as a gift, or get it for yourself. Also, TwinEngineCoffee.com/Allison for your hangover after all the holidays, or just, gosh, I'm gonna have to deal with all my family members who I can't stand tomorrow. I need an extra cup of coffee. We got USDA certified organic roast from Nicaragua, also a great family-owned company. Everything is picked, it's grown, picked, harvested, roasted, all this stuff at the same place, in Nicaragua. And the owner of the company, cigar expert, actually wrote about cigars in Cuba. Really nice guy, and is a very pro-free speech advocate. So he's also one of my sponsors. So check him out. If they make sample packets you can send, and they've got holiday gifts and stuff like that you can do. Also, go to the affiliate links because there's more there. But my affiliate link for Green Pasture, greenpasture.org, you can get your high vitamin D butter oil, cod liver oil blend. It's what I've been taking for about 10 years. I started taking it. I went to the dentist after not going to the dentist for 3 years, despite having cavities all the time. And I had no cavities. They said my gums look great. You can use promo code Allison10, or you can just use the affiliate link in the comments in the description. Okay, so Allison and the number 10 at greenpasture.org, or you can use the affiliate link. Okay, so thanks to all my sponsors. So let me go back real fast since I wasn't sharing my screen. So this is what was coming from Media Matters. Sorry, I wasn't showing this earlier. This is the article. X is placing ads for Amazon, NBA Mexico, NBC Universal, and others next to content with white nationalist hashtags. And then this was Elon's response about the thermonuclear lawsuit against Media Matters. And then I'll just read you this beginning real fast so you can hear what he's alleging. It says, to manipulate the public and advertisers, Media Matters created an alternate account and curated the posts and advertising appearing on the account's timeline to misinform advertisers about the placement of their posts. These contrived experiences could be applied to any platform. Once they curated their feed, they repeatedly refreshed their timelines to find a rare instance of ads serving next to the content they chose to follow. Our logs indicate that they forced a scenario resulting in 13 times the number of ads served compared to the median ads served to an X user. So essentially, if I understand this correctly, is that they created these accounts to go after X and prove that they were putting, ads from these big advertising companies next to what they had determined to be hate speech, whatever that means. And but they did it by constantly refreshing timelines, constantly. So they were getting all these ads only because they were refreshing things and checking feeds and stuff, like an obsessive neurotic amount, in order to show that this was going on. But they were doing it in a way that apparently this is what he's saying, no X user is really doing. And so they're manipulating the data and making it sound like this is the way it is on X or Twitter when it's not. And then to just show you, this is the article from Ken Paxton's investigation. This is from the Texas Tribune, that Ken Paxton's office is going to investigate now. And he's calling it radical anti-free speech organization, Media Matters, that violated Texas laws protecting consumers from fraud. So saying they're going to go after them by, investigating them. They would like nothing more than, this is talking about Media Matters, nothing more than to limit freedom by reducing participation in the public square. Like I said, Rumble CEO Chris Pavlovski saying X is not alone. I can confirm Media Matters has purposely misrepresented Rumble. Dishonesty warrants an immediate investigation. And then again, showing you Trump's Truth Social parent company sues 20 media outlets. They've also, been called the same things. I mean, it's the same things. It's like white nationalism, extremism, racism, hate speech. The condemnation is always the same. Now, I'm going to cut the stream in a second, except for supporters. So just head up on that. Because again, if you're just joining us, this is Tittle Tattle, which is our media analysis show we do for supporters only. When I see this, on one hand, I have to say that Media Matters is to say I don't like Media Matters, that I don't like what they do. I disagree. In other words, I totally disagree with like their reason d'etre, as we would say in French when I was actually speaking French 20 years ago. I mean, it's an understatement to say I don't like them. I think they're garbage organization, unfortunately, that thinks that they're somehow protecting people. They've convinced themselves they're protecting people when in fact I think they are really endangering everybody by touting these really ridiculous criticisms that just get thrown out with like no actual meaning behind them. And I think they're a highly political organization. There have been questions about who's funding them. It just seems like they're, if you were to say like that there was one organization that was the antithesis of what I try to do on the show, I would say Media Matters ranks at the top. Like we are at alternate odds. Why don't they come after me? I don't know. Probably because I have no subscribers. They don't care about people who don't have anyone watching because YouTube is totally has totally buried my channel. Okay, but here's my other problem. I think this shows a failure in the system for these alternative media outlets in two ways. And then to hear more, you're going to have to subscribe. Number one, they need their advertisers. Okay, they need their advertisers, and they're basically saying that you, by suing. I'm not trying to say that it's just about money, but I am saying that like they are making it very clear that their advertisers are very important to them, and so they're going after what they believe to be defamatory and false reporting because it has affected their bottom line. I think that just goes to show that like all of these outlets, eventually have a line in the sand because of money. And I think there's a problem. I think it's a problem whether you think it's an intentional, unintentional, or that it's even possible to do otherwise. I think it's a problem when we have that, at the root of it, because at some point, money is going to win. And I think it'll win over truth in certain circumstances. And I think it puts these companies in a problematic place. The other problem that I noticed that I don't like is that Elon Musk and Rumble CEO Chris Pavlovsky, I didn't see the Truth Social. I haven't read the lawsuit. Hey, Bill. But my concern is that they are saying basically it's not that bad. They're saying like you're making it look worse than it is. What I personally would prefer them to say is F you. If we want to have white nationalists on our website, we can, because when you start saying, oh, come on, we only have like 2 white nationalists on our website. First off, you're giving them it's like you're giving them ground by agreeing that what they're saying is true. Like, yes, okay, you're right. You've identified some white nationalists on our website, but it's not that bad. Why don't you just say, okay, yeah, we have white nationalists, whatever. They haven't broken the law. And so our community guidelines are based on like breaking the law, which they're not. A lot of these websites still have, Twitter, Rumble. They do have a line. They have community guidelines that are not just, hey, you broke the law. They have a line that they're like, that speech is a little overboard for us. So I think when they try to dance with the devil like this and say you're not, you're making it look worse than it is, you're still then, to me, you're admitting ground to them to say that there is a line. It's just that you haven't crossed it. What I would like to see is there's no line except for speech that is illegal, because eventually I feel like you're starting to play their game. You're just trying to say like, we're crazy, but we're just not as crazy as you make it sound. Say like, no, we are obviously taking risk here because we believe the risk of silencing people is worse than the risk of allowing a lot of speech. That would be what I would prefer to see. If you want to hear what Bill has to say, you got to be a subscriber. We'll see you next time. Okay. Thanks everybody on YouTube. See you next time.